Hello everybody, my name is Walter and today I want to show you how you can build my simple and infinitely expandable one wide wall block source for Bedrock Edition. In case you're looking for the corresponding showcase or world download, you can find both linked in the description. But let's get started. So I'll start with the vertical version and in the second half I will get to the horizontal version. Now for the vertical version, you're gonna need a total width of 5 blocks, a length of 4 blocks, and the total height is the height of the swappable segment plus 3 blocks at the bottom. Now for the required resources, you're going to need obviously some building blocks, then 7 redstone torches, 4 redstone repeaters, 3 observers, 2 sticky pistons, a single dropper, and a lever as an input. Additionally, for every meter of the swappable segment, you're going to need 3 redstone torches, 2 normal pistons, and a single sticky piston. And with that said, it's time to show you how to build this block over here. Now the first step is marking the part of the wall that gets swapped out, which is this one wide column of blocks. In this case, I'm going with 20 blocks in total. Next, go below 2 blocks, then 1 block to the right, and then behind that we need our dispenser. The direction it's facing doesn't matter at all. On the left, then place a torch, block on top, torch to the left, and repeat on 1 tick to the right. Grab sticky pistons, place them facing down in front of the repeater and the torch. Then below them, facing backwards, we need observers. Then we start with this one here with a block in front of it, then a raised block. Torch on top of this one, and a repeater on 4 ticks in this gap. Same on this side, so we have the lowered and the raised block there. Torch and the 4 tick repeater. Then grab your last observer, place it looking at the dispenser from the back, running into a full block, then lowered and raised block. 4 tick repeater here. And this time the torch not on top, but on the front of this block. Block on top, torch to the back. And that's pretty much all of the circuitry for the bottom part done. Your input will be this dispenser here, which needs to be powered strongly. So since there will be a wall in the front here, you can either power it from below with a torch like so, and then run your strip of redstone wire just into this block. For this tutorial, I'm going with a slight variation. Since I want my lever inside of the wall, I can place the block inside of the wall and just place the torch like so. And with that, the control circuitry is done. Now it's time for the pistons for the modules. So let's place a temporary one there, so we can place the next one there. I'm going with a second on top since the repeating pattern is 2 blocks high. Then we have the normal pistons on the sides, essentially on top of those sticky pistons here. So not easy to, not too hard to place properly. Now all that's left are the torch towers. We start on top of this torch with a block, then torch to the front, block on top, torch to the back. Same here, so block, torch, block, and torch. And here we have the torch tower beginning essentially there. Now we can go either in this direction or we can go in this direction, doesn't really matter that much. I'm going this way here and then continue just this simple pattern. And for all of the other modules, you would essentially do the same. Now all that's left is adding the second set of blocks. And if I flick the lever and if I build everything correctly, you should now have a functional 2-high swapper. And now the last part is just copying this setup a few more times and obviously filling in the rest of the wall. And here we go. So as you can see, now I have finished this build up, which means now it's time to talk about the horizontal block swapper. Now for the horizontal block swapper, you're gonna need a total height of 5 blocks, a length of 4 blocks, and a total width of the length of your swappable segment plus 2 for the control circuitry. Additionally, if you have more than 15 segments, you're gonna need to extend that, and this means that you need 1 more at the top and 2 more at the bottom for this to work properly. And for required resources, you're gonna need, of course, some building blocks, then a single redstone wire, 2 redstone torches, 3 repeaters, 3 observers, 2 sticky pistons, a single dropper, and a lever as an input. And Additionally, for every meter of your swappable segments, you're gonna need a slab, 3 redstone dust, 2 normal pistons, a single sticky piston, and for every 16 modules, you need for the extension part another 3 repeaters. And that's all you're gonna need. So let me show you how to build this block server right there. Now the first step is marking the part of the wall that gets swapped out, which is here this one high strip of blocks, which for this tutorial will be 20 blocks long. Once you've done that, go 1 to the right and then 2 blocks down, and that's where we need our dispenser at the back. The direction the dispenser facing doesn't matter at all, by the way. Then we need an observer on top with a full block on top, then a block to the back there. Place a 40 repeater here running into a full block and a torch on top of that one. Then go back to the dispenser. We need a full block to the right with some redstone wire on top. Then another block to the back with a 40 repeater on top. This runs directly into our first sticky piston there. The sticky piston has an observer to the face. And then with a 1 wide gap, we have first a lowered block and then a raised block. 40 repeater here with a torch on. Oh, sorry, no torch. The torch goes on top of the sticky piston there. Then on top of the repeater there, a sticky piston facing upwards with an observer powering towards the left, running into a 3-tick repeater on top of a full block. And that's the control circuitry done. Our input is basically this line of wire here. So since I want my input in the wall, I just place a block here and place the lever there. And that's what we want to see. Now it's time for the modules. For that, let me quickly grab a few different blocks. I will need the slabs and I also don't need those. So let me already fit in those blocks like so. Okay, now let's get started. So we start with the sticky pistons, which go behind the swappable part with a 1 wide gap. So essentially next to the repeater there we start. And I'll just add a few more so you can see the pattern. Then we need to go 2 up and 1 to the front and 2 down and 1 to the front. And that's where we need our normal pistons. So let me quickly add a few more there. And now it's time for the circuitry. So we start with normal blocks behind those pistons at the bottom and just wire on top of those. Then we will need to go to the pistons at the top. And here we start with diagonally placed upside down slabs. Again, redstone wire on top. Now, also full blocks behind those pistons here with redstone wire on top. And you can already see we need to cut off this wire here with full blocks. So that's the pattern we need to repeat a few more times. The last thing that's missing is the second set of blocks at the bottom here. And if we have built everything properly, you should now see the swapping action going on. So now let me quickly add a few more modules. And here we go. So as you can see, now I've built all of the modules, but what you can also see is since I have more than 15 modules, the last ones don't actually get powered. And that's something we need to rectify right now. So let's start by looking at this center line here, which should be powered, and let's search for the first unpowered one. Remove that and the next wire here. Do the same already for the other 2 lines, just to make sure that nothing goes wrong for now. Then place a repeater here, move this block 1 down, replace the redstone wire, and then move or place a block on top. Now the center line is already extended. Now we need to go below. And here we have to get a bit more creative actually. So first, let's go and place this block 1 down. Place a repeater on 1 tick in this gap. Then we need to go one lower, place some wire here. And lastly, we need to move this piston one block down and then place a movable block on top. That's already this extension more or less done. Last part is actually moving this block and wire one down. Now you have the maximum extension again for another 15 or 16 blocks to be more precise. And here at the top, we have to get even a bit more creative. First, remove this slab there. Then place a one-tick repeater there, run this into a full block, and then, unfortunately, we need to place rewire on top, as you can see here. And with that done, it's time to give this a test run. So flick the lever, and you should see now everything moving and getting swapped out properly. And then the last part is obviously filling in the rest of the wall with blocks. And here we go. So now that this block server is also finished, we have reached the end of this little tutorial here. I hope you enjoyed it and, well, see ya.